time for Mayor Monday, and this morning we're headed to one of Oregon's largest communities, the capital city of Salem.
A lot that goes on inside the state capitol building. We know about that, but there's also a lot that happens outside of the capitol as well. And joining us live with updates for his community is Salem Mayor Chuck Bennett. Good morning, Mayor.
Good morning. Good morning.
Well, you have some good news from the Salem Housing Authority. The city chosen to be part of the Moving to Work program. Tell us about that and what does that entail?
Well, exactly. We were one of two Oregon cities that were selected to be included in this. It's an opportunity for the Salem Housing Authority as well as the Housing Authority of Clackamas County, which, by the way, were only the two of the only 18 communities chosen nationally to take on a really flexible housing rule system under federal housing law. And what it does is give us a chance to do a variety of creative programs in public housing, as well as dealing with the unsheltered. It allows us to locally design our strategies and use federal dollars to accomplish them. It'll be a real opportunity for us.
Yeah, I mean, that's one of the things as we look at the issue of homelessness and affordability of housing, you know, those two go hand in hand, being able to have affordable housing available to prevent people from becoming homeless, to remain in homes in the community. The other thing, though, as we tackle the homeless crisis in Salem, do you have any updates on the new micro shelter on Center Street Northeast?
Yeah, we do have a new center that has opened up in the past week or so. It's about 40 units, and it's across the street from our downtown Safeway. So, and there's a bus stop there. We work with local nonprofits to offer temporary shelter, as well as providing a whole range of programs and meal opportunities for the unhoused here in Salem. It's been very successful. We have 3 locations going around the city. They provide 24-hour security, there's restrooms, as I mentioned, meals, there's peer support, and then there's connections to a whole range of local service organizations. And we found this, along with other homeless programs, including our fairly unique housing rental assistance program, to be very successful in helping to move people along from being unsheltered to either permanent housing or permanent housing and a job, sobriety, a whole range of successes in these programs.
Do you have a good sense yet of how long on average people are staying in these micro shelters before they're able to move on to more permanent housing?
They tend to last less than a year, several months, but it really is individually. In this kind of shelter, it's individually responsive. What people find is they have a safe place for their stuff, and they can go to work, they can look for a job, they can take part in various programs. So as they are able to move forward, they're leaving, and we've seen people usually making it in 6 to 9 months into a very stable situation. So we've been real pleased with the way these are working. What's a problem is we still have a substantial number of folks who are unhoused. We still have camping going on around town, although we're doing a lot of work in that area. It is, as in any other community, a real challenge, although we have felt that things are actually improving here.
Yeah, what's your count about how many people do you estimate that are homeless on the streets of Salem right now?
I tell you, it's interesting to me. I've been mayor for 6 years, okay? And I have watched homeless counts. They are always, doesn't matter what we're doing, there's 1,000 people who are homeless. And that's the homeless count. Generally, that's the kind of number we're looking at. And trying to get ahead of that, trying to make sure that we're moving forward is the challenge of city government, county government, as well as our partners at the state and federal government. But it seems to be a persistent and difficult challenge to move people from homelessness into housing in terms of those gross numbers. Individually, we're having tremendous success. As a broad question, it's one that, like every other community, getting people out of homelessness is one of the, and from going into homelessness is just a constant challenge.
Yeah, finally, we've just got a little bit of time, Mayor, but I wanted to talk
Yeah.
about the return of commercial air service to Salem Municipal Airport. What can you tell us about that?
We've had a group here in town of business and travel folks who have been asking us to open up for commercial service. We are open for commercial service. We do have to do some work on our terminal. The council is looking at that, and I think we'll probably next Monday night pass a motion that will take us to the design phase of getting our terminal up to speed. We've had one airline that has indicated they would like to provide service in Salem. There is a constant interest here in having it. It's a challenge, and it's one that we will continue to work on with the advocates for commercial service and any airline that wants to come here and pick people up and take them to another location.
Okay, that's development. We'll continue to keep an eye on. Salem Mayor Chuck Bennett, thanks so much for joining us. Good to talk with you.
Thank you.
And of course, if you want to
Bye-bye.
stay up to date on what's happening in Salem and communities all around the area, you can catch all of our Mayor Monday segments on KOIN.com. Just click on AM Extra.